Guys, welcome to the Wild Bit Show. I'm Meghna,
And I'm Upamanyu.
and we've got a great show planned for you. As you would have seen in our headline topic or our headline title, we have a guest coming in today, and his specialization is on small cats. And we're going to talk about all about small cats because the big cats get all the attention, but the small cats usually don't. And I think Ups and me have spoken about this. So one of our topics is actually on small cats. It was just fortunate that we found a article. It is about the European wildcat. We will also be talking about how conservationists are wary of relocating black bucks in Nepal and why. And we would also be talking about, if we have time, how the fisheries and climate research would be hit hard in Trump's proposed budget. What else do we have on the roster, Roots?
Yeah, we have a story about global temperatures and reaching record highs. I think this kind of a story has become, unfortunately, a commonplace. Global temperatures rising. There is also a story about Australia's economy and how there is a surplus of money, but Australia is not choosing to spend it on conservation. There's a story about that, which sounds interesting. There is a story from the Amazon and how it's being exploited. Again, these are themes that we generally cover and unfortunately have to keep covering. And there's a cute little story about a photo story, in fact, from National Geographic about a retired aquarium penguin. And yeah, those are the main things we'll cover. But yeah, if we have time, we'll cover so much more. And as Meghna said, a guest is coming in. So yeah, stay tuned till the end.
Okay, so our headline topic and our guest topic, the one that's kind of rolling with each other. But this is about the European wildcat. It's back, but it's back in some places. The European wildcat, Felis sylvestris, presents a varied conservation landscape despite its least concern IUCN status. While the species, similar in size to a house cat, is recovering in parts of Central Europe, its future is fragile elsewhere. In the Czech Republic, the first wildcats in a century, Jonas and Tonka, were recorded with Tonka giving birth, signaling a meaningful foothold due to habitat recovery and reduced hunting. Germany, France, and Italy also show progress from habitat protection and legal safeguards. However, Scotland declared the wildcat functionally extinct in 2018, now relying on a breeding and release program. Portugal faces similar decline with perhaps only 100 animals remaining. Southern Spain's fragmented population battle road disease and prey scarcity. A significant threat across regions is hybridization with domestic cats, which risks erasing the wild cat's genetic distinctiveness. And I think this is a problem not just in Europe, but in a lot of places where um, like there's a push for a species, then there's like that species is protected, that species is really looked after, but it's not pushed across. So that is probably what is happening with the European wildcat, that even though landmass wise they're all like one big landmass, but different countries have different policies and different conservation principles, and that is why some places it's doing great, but in some places it's really suffering.
Yeah. And I think this is what our guest is researching about in India as well. That is his sort of the topic of the paper we'll be discussing. The Asiatic wildcat basically is facing, although it's a least concern status there too, with the IUCN. but there too they are facing sort of multiple threats, in different, from different directions. Now, one could ask the question that, why bother um, saving these species, or if they're least concerned, why would it be like put money and effort towards saving the species, which kind of is a valid question from some, someone who is not into this, into the conservation world day to day. But I think, we have spoken about this multiple times, that a conservation is made up not just with one animal but multiple animals working together, and in a balance. That's how nature has done it. So I think every animal there is sort of worth protecting. But definitely, we would ask this question of our guest as well, that, if they are least concerned in the IUCN status, what is the use, or why would we spend money right now on them? Um, yeah. Do you have a perspective on that, Meghna?
Yeah, I honestly feel like it's not just the IUCN or the scales or anything else. I also think that size really matters, doesn't it? In like conservation and what animal you want to protect. Like the more it's either it has to be really cute or it has to be really majestic, and that is the only times that you actually talk about it a lot or you protect it. The smaller, wild cats that are really elusive, they're under the bushes, they're very difficult to see. Until and unless you're really really focused into wildlife, you're not concerned about them. And like Oops has mentioned, everything has its own space in the forest. So the smaller cats actually hunt on the smaller animals, and that is how the environment is balanced. So everything needs that protection.
Hmm. Yeah. I think all the problems that is mentioned in this article is, kind of the similar problems that the Asiatic wildcat is facing as well. I think one of the main ones being like them being so close to
People.
uh, s- people, but also like so close looking to house cat,
Yeah.
that it's really easy to sort of crossbreed, with the house cat. I don't know if there are different species though. Like, this will be an interesting question to ask our guest, because what from what I know generally, um, you know, mating between two species should not be possible, but in this case it is.
I
Or
don't know
mating
how it
between two species
works.
is possible, but like it produces like sterile offsprings. Yeah.
No, that
Um.
is between two different species. So like if a cat and sorry, if a tiger and a lion. But I think with the wild cat and the domestic cat, they might probably be in the same cycle
No,
or
they are
circle.
still a different species.
They are. I absolutely agree, but I'm honestly not sure because I don't
Yeah.
know how it works for the
It's
smaller cats. Um,
No, that is what I'm saying. Like, mating between two species, like closely related species, is possible, like donkey and a horse, but the offsprings will be sterile. That's
the
what. Like,
the offsprings are, but
yeah.
let's say like even in tigers, okay, just let's say tigers,
Mm.
the like the Siberian tigers and the Bengal tigers, they've been shown to mate and have a different offspring. So they are similar because they're not the same species. They have some dissimilarities, but they're very similar. It is possible that the wild cats and the domestic cats are so similar that they can produce offsprings, and that changes the genetic line. Like how it happens with dogs. Like if you actually like combine, or you mate two different species, then you
No,
can
but all
actually
dogs are same species.
at the root, like a wolf.
No, no,
Okay.
not at the root. Every dog is the same species, just a different breed.
Yeah,
It
that
just
is.
looks different. Every dog is the same species.
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah, that might make a difference.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
I
an
think.
interesting question. We can ask our guest. It's opportune that we have exactly the expert in this topic coming in. So yeah, we can definitely pose this question to our guest. But so that is one of the problems with these cats. Um, and yeah, we'll get an answer soon. But also because they live so closely in human habitats, it always is that there can be roadkill, so there can be this hybridization problem. Then people might choose to kill them if they are invading farms and things like that. So um that those things combined, it would be really easy for them to become like from least concern to like threatened really easily. So yeah, if we don't keep an eye on that. Mm.
I also think like we actually made the discussion question. We changed it around a little bit, and we said, how should conservation of European wildcats be balanced across different countries? Now, obviously, different countries have their own policies, and one country cannot tell another country how to have their policies, but maybe they can all come together because
Mm.
like wildcats are that's the area of the wildcats, and they're spread all across Europe. So maybe there needs to be like one